Hi. So in this video, we'll talk about the second half of our group practice. And so in the first half of the group practice, we are practicing just being with our parts, and especially just one part with this intention to just acknowledge and appreciate, understand this part without wanting to change it at all. And so that's like this. We have maybe a part who wants to manage our other parts, or a part who just really wants to feel calm, really wants to feel peace, and so it gets upset at the other parts and criticizes them or tries to control them or whatever. And so this part, we would say then, is blended, right? And so it's blending, it's kind of taking over self. And as we notice them, we love them. We notice, oh, by loving the part, we naturally start to come out like this. Myself starts to come out. And so I can really, from myself, which is here, I can love this part and say, thank you for trying to help me. You just want me to feel better. You just want peace for me. Thank you. And that in and of itself is an unblending process, a coming home process, okay? And then it's also helpful to shift our awareness. First, we focus on the part and say, thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that. I see you, I understand. We can celebrate this part for all that it's done to try to help us. And then we can also shift our focus from the part, and we can shift our focus just to self. And we can actually notice and be aware of this source of the appreciation and the love and the understanding. So that remember that the foundation of abiding love is this deep sense of okayness, that all is okay, I am okay. That really is kind of the main feeling, one of the main feelings we have that underlies self-abiding love. And so when I practice just loving my part without wanting it to change, this is possible because I am resting in this okayness, which comes from self right here and is also radiating out, surrounding this also. And so what I've learned from my experience and from the fundamental well-being studies is that once we come home, once we do this, we come home, then it's very helpful to just spend a lot of time sinking into this, which is hard to describe, but it's really just a sense of kind of resting into, like a warm bath, or resting into the warmth of the sun, resting into the warmth of a comfy chair, but just resting into it that's already here. And so that is what we will practice. The first half of the self-practice is loving the parts. The second half is just kind of stepping back in our mind and just resting into the love itself. And that doing that in a group format is actually very helpful. And that there are benefits of doing it in the group that we don't actually find when we do it on our own. It's great to do it on your own. And that's really also the purpose of your individual daily practice, is to come home and then to sink in. And so I'll describe what we do in the second half, and we'll call this a sinking in practice. And so one way to think about it is to that we kind of zoom back our awareness to the love itself. So I start with my awareness focused on a part. Maybe I'm focused on this part. I'm talking, I really appreciate you. And then I kind of zoom back my awareness to just focus on self, to just focus on that space of love that is there and to rest there. Another way of thinking about this is that to notice the awareness itself. And so this diamond here, this is self, and this is actually the place from which I am aware. This is kind of the camera in my mind that looks in at my parts and also looks out at the world. Okay? And so I can actually notice that this is here, and I can notice that this awareness is like the container for all of the stuff. This awareness holds all of the contents. So in a way of thinking that my parts and my feelings and my thoughts and my ideas and other people and all of this stuff that I notice, the things, those are the contents of awareness. And in our sinking in practice, we are just noticing the container of awareness itself. And this sounds kind of hard to grasp. I don't get it. What do you mean, the container? What do you mean to notice awareness? And it is a little confusing to understand. It's very difficult to describe, actually, without just experiencing it. And so that's what we'll do, is we're just going to try it together. And I'm not going to try super hard so you can figure it out, because you can't actually figure it out. You can really only experience it. But these are the instructions that can help, is we shift from focusing on the contents of awareness to awareness itself. Or we shift from focusing on the object of our love to the love itself, right? That's the shift. And so the method of the practice is that each person will just take turns saying a very short little sentence or two, or even less than a sentence, of how do you notice the love? How do you notice the awareness? How do you notice self? And that there are many qualities to this that you might notice. You might notice spaciousness. You might notice peace. You might notice love. You might notice appreciation. You might notice life or aliveness. You might notice emptiness, stillness. There's lots of different things, many qualities of self, the spaciousness of self, right? The kind of some people call it the hot tub of self. There's many qualities of this. And so we'll take turns, and it might sound like a sentence like, love is spaciousness, or awareness is calm. Or you might just say, there is awareness here, or something like that. There's many different ways. Or you might just say the word that you notice. You might just say openness, calm, okayness. That might be it. So each person's turn will be a very short little bit of time, and we'll just go around and we'll just keep doing that for, I don't know, we'll see how much time we have, 30 minutes maybe. And another instruction is that during that time, we won't talk about the contents of our awareness. We won't talk about our parts or our feelings or our thoughts during that time, because we really just want to focus on the spaciousness, on self, on awareness itself. And so if parts, as I describe this, if parts are worried about this or confused, that's absolutely okay and understandable. Okay, before we do it, we will take some time to invite in any parts who have feelings about it and to welcome them. They're all welcome. Okay, and so you might having questions like, well, what if I don't notice the awareness? What if I don't know what it means? What if I don't know how to do it, right? That makes total sense. It's really normal, right? What if I'm just faking it, okay? All that's okay. There are no problems. It's not so much about how doing a good job at the practice. It's really more about your intention, okay? So, and if you fake it for a while, that's fine, okay? It'll start to just work. It'll start to just happen, all right? So there are more instructions that we will get to when we meet. But for now, this is all the instructions. Again, if you notice nervous or confused parts, just welcome them. They're trying to help you. This is kind of weird and confusing, so it's okay to feel that. Okay, thank you.